Hi, it's Hazel, and welcome to my channel, Hazel Anaka Design. I have a dilemma, and I'm hoping you will be willing to help me with it. Let me just set the stage. A couple of years ago, in a U.S. Antique mall, I bought a vintage book of wallpaper samples. And near as we could tell, it was from the 60s. But it was different in the sense that it's not a typical wallpaper book. It was a book where customers could order wall murals. So it's an entire, and I realize that, it might be difficult for you to see this whole thing in its entirety. Oh, let me pull out a ruler. So for the longest time, I didn't know what to do with these. I thought to myself, well, the paper is gorgeous, and for, the people that bought my tree journals, I used some of the tree wallpaper in those journals. The paper is lovely. I couldn't keep that big book around forever. I have been unwilling to fold this in any way. And so this takes up a lot of space. Plus, I'm sitting on something that is beautiful and I think you might be interested in. Now, anyone who has a shop, Etsy, Maker's Market, coffee, whatever scenario, knows that listing something is a multi-step process and it's labor intensive, and there's some work involved. So I want to get these in the hands of people who will appreciate this as much as I do. But I need your input in the comments as to, number one, are you even interested in purchasing a bundle like this? Number two, how would you be? Okay, let me just tell you. So finally, the other day, I basically, got a wee bit brutal and I tore the pages, the patterns down to what I believed was the essence of the pattern. So you probably, maybe you can't see that, but this is roughly 18 and a half inches long and 11 inches tall. So, okay, if these papers were bundled, and I'm hoping you tell me a preference as to how you'd want to see that done. If, to save shipping costs, I folded it in half, would you be okay with that? Because of course we know that, oversized things cost more money to ship, and shipping is kind of crazy in the first place. So clearly there's enough here to make a very, a tall skinny and have extra pieces to use, or a normal sized one and turn in some, a bit front and back to make very good sized tuck spots. So run that, think about that as I show you some of these papers. Now, originally, when I did some pre-sorting, and that's sort of just one size. You can see that the next design is bigger. It's probably closer to 12 inches high. So I could bring these down to a standard size, or I could, theoretically, I guess I could use a 9x12 envelope to mail them. Anyway, so the question is, would you be interested in them? Would you be very upset, or do you understand that they would have to be shipped with a fold in them? Hopefully just one fold. And what kind of a bundle would you prefer to see? Now you'll have a better idea about what you think about that as I show you some of the designs. And there is not an even number of the same things. So with this tree one, you can see there's this brown and yellowy one, shades of green, and then more like an orangey one. So let's just show you that. So there are 3 different colorways. Some of them have 4. A couple only have 2. So originally when I began sorting these things out, I kind of had grouped them into 4 colorways, thinking that people are more interested in a color family than they might be in the subject matter. So tell me your preference about that. Or would you prefer a variety of colors, not really caring that they might all be slightly different? Or do you prefer a color family, like there is sort of turquoisey selection in some of these, and you don't care if it's florals, landscape, abstract, or whatever. Anyway, I'll stop talking and I'll just show you. So in this one, I should just have a look at my camera here to make sure. Okay, so in this one you can see it's this lovely branch, and it comes, I have it in 4 different colors. So there's that. Then there's this one that has this same background. It comes in 3 different colors. Oh, I haven't been telling you sizes, but I think most of them are roughly 18 or 19 inches wide and 11 or so inches tall. So if I were to fold this could make a beautiful cover in itself, and then this could be like a belly band or cut up further for ephemera or whatever. So this peachy, salmony, pink color, white, and shades of gold. This one is more, well, clearly more abstract, or, you know, and I guess use whatever adjective you want for that one. Oh, I didn't show you colors. Orangey, neutral, and goldy. And I will try to speed this up. Now this is where we're starting to get into some of the more architectural and scenic ones. So this is like lattice and these open windows and plants and so on. So quite a vivid green, gold, and then this toned down beigey one. This one, I think there are only 3 of these, and this is like a skyline, you know, a bit of a road here, sky. And obviously I trimmed it where the pattern ended. Didn't trim any patterns off, any parts of the design off, but they could be further shortened. Okay, so in this case, well, it's 11 inches tall, so I mean, obviously it would work. It could do 2 covers easily for a tall skinny, or trim, you know, down to 9 inches and just craft with the parts you cut off. So this dark background, and then the browns, and then the golds. This one, I kind of thought of Sandy, Wilhelmina, when I saw these ships. This is very lovely color-wise. So sort of that sea glass color, and then these 2. So a wharf, some boats, some little buildings. Now this one, and of course I've cut the names off. These all had names. So this kind of looks Mediterranean to me. I think with these sorts of trees, we're probably talking about, you know, Italy or Greece. 4 colorways here. So greens, sort of less green. Turquoisey, minty green, and then this top one. More buildings. So this sort of looks kind of Mexican, Spanish. I would say if you forced me to guess, browns, earth tones, and then sort of orangey, turquoisey. Here is another one. This is like a courtyard. So again, you know, could be beautiful. And of course, I've been showing this folded in half because I guess just to be consistent, that's the way I would fold it. But obviously, I guess I'll stick with what I said. I don't think I can start randomly folding in other places. So shades of green, blue and brown. This one only has 2. So it's a pond or a slough, pheasants, those look like Canada geese, and probably a mallard or 2 there. And then the same in the more green tones. Getting to the end here, or well, I guess not quite, but I think we're making good time. And this one, why is this one longer? So I need to trim, obviously, one of those down. So this is kind of a, you know, a rural setting. There's the, you know, the mill type, is that what you call it? Those buildings with the paddle wheel, sort of. Some, you know, like a little village or something, a country road, split a log fence, cattails, like everything you'd expect to see in the country. And, 4 colors in this one. So I just think these are so beautiful. And of course the paper is matte and textural, as you'd expect in wallpaper. This has a very Asian feel. Pagoda type buildings. I guess that's mountainous. This kind of, you know, trees heavy with blossoms. The little fence, or not fence, what do you call it, bridge. So 3 colors to this. This one is more a farm scene. You know, we've got the barn. I guess that's a covered bridge. And of course, I think the trees in all of these are just, well, the whole landscape is just gorgeous. You know, when you see on something like this, when you see these little dotted dots of color for flowers, for wildflowers, and you see the detail on the rock, you think to yourself, this truly is an art form. Okay, then this one is like looking out over the ocean, so there's wrought iron, a lot of potted plants, kind of stonework, and 3 colors in this one. And then this one is again a court. Well, maybe I should pick one with a more vivid, where you can see a little more of the contrast. Let's show you this one for a change. So again, those olive type trees, fence, pathway, some architecture, columns, a fountain. So teal, green, brown, and I don't know, maybe a more olivey kind of color. This one is another water scene, so kind of an island paradise type thing. an island, foliage and buildings, palm trees, boats, beach umbrellas, and all these lovely plants, and this low fence. So that's that one. This is fairly neutral. These are just basically pampas type grass, I would say, because it looks tall. So browns and whites, brown and yellow, green, olivey green and yellow. And that's that. And then this is, you know, when those dogs play cards, then they go to the bar and have a shot and smoke a cigarette while wearing a tuxedo and holding a cigarette holder. Hit on a poodle. So these, maybe I'll show this one. These are cute. Now, whether or not anybody is interested in something like this, there are only 2 of them, is, I guess, well, you tell me. Now, if this French Bulldog looked like my daughter's Gertie, then I would definitely be using it myself. So that is my dilemma. I hope that you love these as much as I do. I hope that you are intrigued by the possibilities that exist with each of these. And the weight, you know, the individual sheet is kind of a pretty nice weight. It's not as heavy as a cardstock, but it's certainly more robust than just copy paper. So, yeah, that's my problem, people. And I really hope that you take the time and thought to tell me what you think, because I guess if you don't, I'll be forced to just do what I think and you know, hope that I guessed right. So the question is, could you live with a fold? Because you'd have to. And how would you want how would you want the bundle structured? An assortment, a color family assortment. I don't know. That's why I'm asking you. And I didn't bother counting how many different, excuse me, how many different patterns there are, or how many different designs there are. Oh, I guess maybe if I'm asking you to do this homework, I would just also ask you, what would be the optimum number of sheets in a bundle? So if I put an assortment of 3 together, would that make you happy? Or would you want it to be like 5 or 1 of each, or like I'm guessing here. Anyway, thank you so much, and I look forward to your comments and your answers, and give me your best advice. Thanks, guys. Bye.